I did not want this to happen to me. I was raped as a kid. Rich American millionaires believe this happened to me, and they know about my childhood. Um, they're actors from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Scooter Braun. I'd repressed this childhood abuse. It was sexual abuse, and I caused a split personality disorder, dissociation, which I used to predict the future. I saw their faces and things on one occasion. Everyone who knew me was abusive in childhood. I was one of the bullied kids. I had a skin condition from being molested. I used to bleed to death on the landing. I used to scratch myself to death. I looked like a leper. People called me leper. People chucked things on me and all that sort of thing. I was misunderstood and unloved my whole entire childhood. I had a complete trauma reaction to it. I spent hours in my mind, and it was triggered by the paedophiles around me. I'm trans and in poverty, and I come from this abuse. When they save me or they meet me, I'm so grateful to be saved, that I was right, that I was, raped as a kid. I repressed it or whatever, in that way. I naively thought this and that would happen next. Now that I've met the celebrities, my teeth are still stained from the neglect from childhood. She molested me in the toilet, and she stained my teeth, the front two of my teeth, over time, and you just repress it, you forget, and you don't realise that I grow up without a dad. Everyone around me, like that. I spend hundreds of hours every day in my mind, dissociated, because I couldn't cope with being around my biological mother. It was severe emotional abuse. I was told to grow up every day. It was physical abuse. I was dropped down the stairs. I was dropped down the stairs. Things like this. It was, I was dropped down the stairs. The car boot was dropped on my head. I was dropped as a kid like a bunch. It was like that, yeah. Over the next 6 months, after I meet Scooter Braun in 2020, I gradually lose my friends because my body, my brain, my person, this is in 2020, my entire spiritual energy is captured and used by these people. It drains me. Nobody will talk to me anymore. Nobody believes me about what's happening. People misunderstand me. People don't get who I am anymore. I get hospitalised about 15 times, 10-15 times in the total of the 6 months or whatever. The nurses and doctors disrespect me and talk down to me every time about 10 times. About 10 times people around me belittle me and treat me badly because they don't understand what's going on. I have no consent. They've mind hacked me. They've hacked my brain. They're reading my thoughts. They're able to do basically whatever they want to me. They use things from when I was a child to trigger my trauma in my brain. They put them in there from literally things from when I was a child, and the rapist was there. In February, it was really dark. In March, April, I'm not expecting anything anymore. I'm not expecting it to be famous. I'm thinking, no, that's beyond what would ever be allowed to, fucking hell, May, it's way too dark. I'm concussed and bloody on the walls. I have mania on my sheets. I have blood pretty much everywhere. I can't, there's nobody there for me or whatever. It's just them in my head, and I can't dissociate anymore. So I'm always aware. I can't dissociate anymore. I never get a moment of privacy or peace. Nobody believes what's happening around me. They're reading my thoughts constantly. Please make it stop. I'm repressing them, suppressing them. I've changed my entire personality. A part of me genuinely died, and I lost. It was like my innocence was taken again. I changed. I couldn't cope with who I was because they were, reading it or whatever, and I repressed it all, and I completely changed, and it was very unhealthy. It damaged me. It was bad for the brain. You could clearly see that it was making me a really bitter, post-traumatic, angry person. I'm feeling tortured every day by this entire event. In thought, in June, I'm dead because for an hour and more they make me hit my head in total 50, as much as probably 100 times in the amount of a week, probably about 10 really hard smashes, to try and make it go away. I can hear their clear, homophobic, neglectful, unkind messages which were not consented to. They called me friend. At the end of one of them, they said something homophobic, and I said, please don't, please stop, and they said, they called me friend, and they did it again, and they did it again, and this happened multiple times. There was a group of these sort of instances of this. I was on the floor and I was hospitalised. As a kid, I obviously had head injuries and things. I repress anything which is anything to do with anything because it's triggering. I can't cope. They manipulate my energy, my creative energy, my sexual energy, or whatever. I was vulnerable, and in that state it's difficult to say that word. I don't say any words like that. I never would. I would never ever do anything like that ever. It's obviously one of those things. I was vulnerable, and in that state, assault, I hate that sort of thing. In that state, there was an assault, feeling of bitterness, not able to control. I felt powerless. Probably about 50 incidences of severe struggle, panic attacks. I get triggered and manipulated almost every day, and I don't know what's going on the whole time. People can come and go as they please. I can't turn it off. The only way to get out of it is if I die. They use my body, my mind, and my ideas with nothing in return. I'm being exploited. I don't know how to escape. They don't turn off the technology. There's a series of, later in the quarter of 2021, there is intense abusive sexual assaults and sexual intentions, which I said, please stop. I say, I don't want that. I'm like, I don't want that. Please leave me alone. Like, they sort of like obsess over it for a period of time, over my sex or whatever. Don't like that sort of thing. They pressured me into things. They put things into my head. I can't see. My eyesight is gradually getting worse. I don't have any money, and I can't afford. It is like it is. Yeah. Like worse, this is a summary, there's a much more detailed and graphic sort of version of this that's, I can't see. I'm gradually more and more blind. I can barely see what's going on around me. I'm scared. It's that bad. I wake up every day for weeks. This is more towards the end, towards the latter months. The first 3 were like, yeah, it's dark, but I can, blah, 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 and then, oh, yeah, and then it's like, oh, no, we're done now. Done, definitely, and whatever this fucking shit that we've got going on, like, in the meantime is, like, fucking, like, I thought the timer would have gone out. Whatever, like, is happening, like, now is, like, I don't even know, I'm gone, definitely. I wake up every day, I'm screaming, I'm crying hysterically, I'm begging, leave me alone, intense feelings of overwhelm and anxiety and dread, begging and pleading, and I can't cope. As intense as that, I feel intense PTSD, I feel shamed, I feel ashamed, I feel guilty, as you do when these sorts of things happen. They can spy on my pleasure and things. It's more intense than you can imagine, the kind where you're willing yourself into existence because the people are there, so resentful of it. When you're in that moment as a victim, as an existing victim, it's like the worst thing you can possibly imagine. You can't escape from it. It really is that scary and that bad and that lonely, but you're laughing the next second, but it's confusing or scary, and you don't know why it's still going on, or how they're able to do that, or you're not really sure. I don't take off my clothes for months or shower at all. I don't shower for months because I can't, because they've mind hacked me. They're reading, they're doing all these things to my body, they're doing all these things to my brain. They're just doing things to my brain, and it's wrong for months. I sleep in my clothes. I probably didn't shower for like 3 months or something, like 5 months. I didn't have any clean sheets. I didn't have any any of that. I can't sleep or lie down properly. I stay awake for 3 days at a time. I can't sleep because of the what they're doing to my brain. I can't rest. I don't have a moment of thinking alone to myself. I don't have a moment of sort of like the whole time they're saying leave it to the last minute. I'm thinking, well, I'm gone. You've definitely done it. Whatever you tried to do, you've won, definitely. And now you're just using my brain or whatever for whatever purpose you have. I'm constantly on alert. This sort of revolves around a cycle of this, me trying to explain these sorts of things. It's, really, really like a horrific every day. I'm receiving threatening communications. I can't sleep or lie down properly. I stay awake for 3 days at a time, because otherwise I collapse from exhaustion. I can't rest my eyes for a second. They constantly send me things. It's like somebody told me to kill myself a bunch. Basically, they rub neglect into my face, homelessness into my face dozens of times. They shove that in my face like a bunch. Probably they repeat the same word, and I say, please shut up, please don't say that to me, please stop. The whole time I'm having like regular flashbacks to my childhood, and because of my privacy, there was an incident where I actually couldn't experience the flashback fully because I wasn't alone, because I wasn't private, so it genuinely affected my ability to have childhood, to like be there fully present for my memory. And I was like, I'm gonna have to wait until it's over. It's that sort of thing. I'm gonna have to wait until it's over to the whole time, and it is like that. Yeah. This is just what I remember off the top of my head, and it's obviously the top of my head or whatever, off the top of your head. Like, I can't. Yeah. Sometimes. Wait, let me upload this and I'll carry on doing the rest of the video.